Would we blame Chelsea fans if they started saying Poch out? I know I wouldn't, because it would make sense, right? They're edging closer to 11th than they are to the top of half of the table. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Football with Priscilla. I am Priscilla, obviously. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are just going to have a weekend recap of the big 6 teams. But before we get into the video for today, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on to know when next I post a video. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the video for today, I just want to give a comment, shout out to Bright Manda. Bright, thank you so much for your comment on my previous video. It was a video I made about Manchester United. We're talking about the Manchester United loss. So in this video, I'm not talking about Manchester United, okay? I already covered that in my previous video. So Bright Manda, thank you so much for your comment. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend we had. You know, after Manchester United lost, I was like, oh my gosh, are we about to have that weekend where my team is losing? Like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be that weekend where my team has lost, right? And everyone else's team is winning. But no, listen, the universe was on my side. Arsenal. Granted, I have no right to laugh at Arsenal. Like, I'll be laughing at Arsenal, but there are many points ahead of us, and at least they're fighting for first and second position. But Chelsea, I have every right to laugh at Chelsea. What is wrong with Chelsea? Like, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Chelsea. The gift that keeps on giving. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the game that were played on the weekend and what does that mean for the Premier League, what happens in the table, etc. The first game that we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, was Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Now, I was having a conversation with my older brother. He's a huge Arsenal fan, by the way. So he was laughing at Man City. He was saying, oh my gosh, Man City lost to Aston Villa. It was obviously a tough game, blah, blah, blah. And then he was saying, so are we going to say that if Man City have lost to Aston Villa and then Arsenal beat Aston Villa, then Arsenal is a better team than Man City? I was like, that's far-fetched. Okay, we can't judge Arsenal off of beating Aston Villa, so no. But ladies and gentlemen, the way karma works, Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. Now, a lot of us have been talking about the race for top 4, who's going to win the Premier League. A lot of us keep on glossing over Aston Villa like they are not in and around the top 4, right? Like, even inclusive of me, okay? It's like whenever you're looking at the table, you look at Aston Villa and you're like, these guys are not supposed to be here. So you like ignore them and try to talk about everyone else. But no, Aston Villa, ladies and gentlemen, is actually there. Like, they are actually giving a shout out for the title. I know it's crazy to say, but we can't ignore the fact that they are in and around the top 4. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, Aston Villa, whatever they are planning and they are trying to do is just crazy. And you know, it's not far-fetched for us to say they can go for the title, because Leicester, ladies and gentlemen, remember what happened to Leicester? Everyone was saying, oh, they're going to drop off, until they actually carried the Premier League. So let's not overlook Aston Villa. Now, Arsenal, listen, I'm going to say this. I don't think Arsenal fans should panic over their loss to Aston Villa. I will say this. In my previous video, I did say, for me, Arsenal is a good team. And I said they can have a shout out to the title, right? The Premier League title. For me, I always have question marks with Arsenal with regards to their squad depth, right? I feel like they play the same players and eventually the same players will burn out. So do they have the squad depth, ladies and gentlemen, to carry them all the way to May? Is always my question mark with Arsenal. But I don't think Arsenal fans should panic just yet. I mean, this is one loss, right? This is Aston Villa, who's a good team. This is the same Aston Villa that managed to hold Man City at 1-0, right? So it's not a bad loss. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it has started raining, so I'm going to try and shout and speak a little louder. It's raining. There's nothing I can do. Mother Nature and whatnot. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. Arsenal fans, don't panic, okay? It's just Aston Villa. I'm joking. Panic. The other team that I want to talk about is Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Now, Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 2-1, which is very annoying because, like we can see, This just means Liverpool is edging closer and closer to the first position. Now, two teams you don't want to go above you are Liverpool and Man City, okay? Liverpool have hit form and they are playing well. Okay, we do not want Liverpool or Man City to go above anyone. Like when they're on the first position, it's hard for them to come down. I will say this: I prefer Man City over Liverpool. I would prefer Man City winning the Premier League title over Liverpool. Yes, I know Man City, Manchester United, the rivalry. No, my rivals are Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. If these three teams are doing horribly, I am happy. And if these three teams are doing well, I am sad. So for me, I prefer Man City. So I'm not so happy that Liverpool is edging closer to the first position. But yeah, Liverpool have been playing well. They are not dropping points, ladies and gentlemen. And so if we're talking about Arsenal having a shout out or being in the conversation for the Premier League title this season, then we must add Liverpool there because they are not dropping points and they're actually playing well. And oh my gosh, their next game is Manchester United. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, Liverpool beat Crystal Palace. Now, something about Liverpool's games are not convincing. Like, you know the Liverpool we're used to, which goes 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Here they are conceding goals, but yes, they're still winning. So do you guys think that one day Liverpool is going to slip up and they'll be caught up and actually get a draw? What do you guys think? So yes, Liverpool, ladies and gentlemen, beat Crystal Palace. So obviously they have a shout out for the title race. Now the other team that I want to talk about is Man City versus Luton Town. In the beginning, I remember everyone kept on saying, oh my god, Luton Town is not that good of a team. It's the worst team. Luton Town is giving every single team that goes to their home stadium a run for their money. So those people who came out and started saying, oh, Luton Town is not that good. Well, look at Luton Town now. They are giving every single team a run for their money. Now listen, if they can give Liverpool a run for their money, Man City, I was so surprised. Like, it was so close. Okay, now I'm thinking when Manchester United go to Luton Town, because obviously we don't have the squad that Man City have. We don't have the team that can come back. So I'm scared to go to Luton Town at this point. But it is not an easy stadium. Like, when people were talking about Luton Town in the beginning, I was like, oh, obviously it's going to be a walkover. Now it looks like going away to Luton Town is not the easiest of things. But Man City managed to win, ladies and gentlemen. So they're not so far off. Number one, still in the conversation of the title race, and they have just moved at least further away from Manchester United. Oh my god. But anyway, so yeah, Man City beat Luton Town. At least they are closer and nearer to the first position. This is why you never write a team like Man City off. The other team that I want to talk about is Tottenham versus Newcastle. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I am saving the best for last. When are we going to have a conversation about how poor Newcastle have been in the Premier League? Granted, they've been so good in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, they've been bad. And no one is talking about Eddie Howe. Okay, if this was Manchester United, oh my gosh, the media, the pundits, the whole world will be talking about Erik ten Hag in Manchester United, how much we have fallen off, yet we are above Newcastle. You would think the way people talk about Manchester United, like we are on number 18, number 17, or number 15, or number 10, Chelsea. But we are not. We're actually in the top 6, in and around that area. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tottenham beat Newcastle 4-1. And it was an interesting game for Tottenham. Can I just say this? And I will always say this. Heung-min Son is an absolute gem of a player. The way he was creating those assists, that is what a winger should do. Okay? Anthony, Garnacho, take notes. What Heung-min Son does on the wings is what a winger should be doing, but they don't do that, right? So Heung-min Son is an absolute gem for Tottenham. Do you think Tottenham can even sell Heung-min Son? I don't think so. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's interesting, right? Newcastle is somewhere number 7, and no one is talking about it. But when Manchester United drops to 7, like, it's a big deal. Obviously, a good result for Tottenham, them beating Newcastle. Tottenham have been playing very direct football. Very interesting, very entertaining, but it's very risky football because they do risk conceding. But let me just say this, I think Zebri has done well with his team. His team is really playing well. Tottenham is really playing interesting football, but it's a very high risk football because you easily concede goals. But yeah, kudos to Tottenham for beating Newcastle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, the main event, Chelsea versus Everton. Now, like how Chelsea? How? Like, I don't even understand at this point. Granted, I know Paul Black, but Priscilla, why are you laughing at Chelsea? You are, listen, we are not on 10th. Neither are we edging closer to 11th, okay? I have every right to laugh at Chelsea. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea lost to Everton. And you know the funny thing? Chelsea is on what position? 10th. Manchester United is on position 6th. Eric Ten Hag's team is on what position? 6th. Uh, Pochettino's team is on what position? 10th. Edging closer to 11th. But no one is talking about Poch. The whole world is Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag is not so good. Is not good. What about Poch? Right? Chelsea is playing horrible football. Chelsea lost to Manchester United. Chelsea lost to Everton same week. And this is a team that's only playing the Premier League. Yet no one is talking about that. Right? No one is talking about Poch. It's always Manchester United this, Manchester United that. What about Chelsea? Where is the media coverage on Pochettino? Where is the job risk for Pochettino? Why is no one talking about Poch as a coach? Why are they only talking about Eric Ten Hag? Which shows you that Manchester United is that big of a team. But come on, Chelsea. What is wrong with Chelsea? Like, if there are any Chelsea fans in my audience, right, can you kindly let me know in the comment section what's wrong with Chelsea? For me personally, I've been saying this for the longest period of time. Chelsea don't have a striker. Jackson is not a striker. Sterling is not a striker. They don't have a pinpoint striker. And this has been affecting them a lot. And sometimes when you're watching Chelsea games, you're wondering, what style of play are they playing? Like, they're all over the place, right? Like, for me, I will say this. I know I've been saying Poch, what, blah, 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 but I don't blame Poch because I honestly think, I don't know, this has to do with Todd Bowley. Somewhere here we have to add Todd Bowley to the failure of Chelsea. Chelsea was buying players because the players were being hyped out by the media in wherever countries they were playing. Chelsea was bringing them in. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea bought Osimhen, right? That's Chelsea. They want to buy the most overheard players, the most overhyped players. But Chelsea's problem is they never buy the players that are actually required for their team. If you need a centre-back, buy a centre-back. But Chelsea will need a centre-back. Hear that Enzo Fernandez is the player that everyone is talking about, and then buy Enzo Fernandez, and then they don't have a centre-back. This is the problem with Chelsea. They bought so many players that don't fit the system, that don't fit the style of play, and this is what's happening. They can't play as a team. They don't fit the system. I think if they gave Poch, like Poch, okay, we have seen your system. You buy the players that you want to buy. I think it would make sense. But when you look at the quality of players that Chelsea have bought this season, you can't make sense out of it. The first time I saw Jackson at Chelsea, I was like, why? Mudryk, Jackson, and I'm like, who here is supposed to be the striker? Like, are they trying to play a front three of people that are versatile, that can interchange? Even if they're trying to do that, Mudryk and Jackson are not doing justice. Sterling is trying, but the rest, no. Enzo is a good player. I'll give Chelsea that. But the others, like, what's happening? Caicedo has been a shadow of himself. Cucurella has been a shadow of himself. What is happening with Chelsea? And I honestly believe the players, most of the players they bought don't even fit the system. They bought the players just because those players were being heard, but not because they needed the same players. And so now they have a big problem on their hands. Chelsea is edging closer to the bottom of the table, ladies and gentlemen. For Chelsea fans, I will tell you this: panic. Yes, panic. You should be the loudest. You should be louder than Manchester United, demanding for a manager change or something, demanding for a player change or something. But you guys should be louder than us. Granted, the whole world wants Manchester United to be loud and say, oh, Eric Ten Hag out. Would we blame Chelsea fans if they started saying Poch out? I know I wouldn't, because it would make sense, right? They're edging closer to 11th than they are to the top of half of the table. So, listen, it's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening to Chelsea. Funny, but crazy. But listen, the Premier League table keeps on twisting and turning. This is why it is the best league in the world, right? You can't write a script of football. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I just wanted us to go through a recap of the games that were played this weekend. Comment down in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know which one amongst these games was your match of the weekend. For me, it was Tottenham versus Newcastle. I think that game was just amazing. Tottenham played amazingly well. So that's all I had for you guys today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on to know when next I post a video. Bye!